I don't know.
You didn't answer it?
Somebody, no, it was a local number.
You
So,
answered it. If it's local number, it was
well, my
local.
show is just starting. So, good morning. You don't have to come over here, but stand where I can see you for a second. Good morning.
Good morning. I still would have answered the phone.
Yeah, I should have been here. If you recognize it, take a look at it. Hey, folks, good morning. Welcome to the show for a Sunday morning. I got a call just as the show was playing, and Rainey said you should answer it. I didn't want to. It might have been KT. So, because they had me scheduled to work tonight because it's a holiday weekend and somebody wanted off, so they put me on. That's the number. I wondered if that was it. So,
It looks familiar.
1201. I don't know what that is. So, welcome to my mundane stuff this morning, folks. How you all doing? Good to see you all. And I hope you have your coffee in hand like I do. Coffee, 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 coffee. And Rainey is not camera ready, so she didn't come over here. I think she's camera ready. Hell, I could do a whole spread with her right now. But anyway, moving on from that, good to see you all this morning. It's Sunday morning here, like it is there. And it's 9 o'clock in the morning, and I haven't been doing radio all week, so it feels kind of funny. So I just shaved my head again, said Grumpy Stack. You should call in, Grumpy, and show it off. I want to see that shine. Come on. Do you tan it and wax it and buff it with a rag? So good morning, Uncle Dave. Good to see you as well. And so it's nice here. What's it like in your neck of the woods? It's going to be, it was like 85 degrees yesterday. And for those of you in England, that's like 35 degrees, I think, or something like that. Celsius, if I'm not mistaken. I was talking to Wendy and Michael yesterday, and we tried to figure out the difference for Wendy. And she said, oh, yeah, that's hot. I think he said it was 35 degrees Celsius. So here, let's find out. Hold on. Hey, Siri, what is 85 degrees Fahrenheit in Celsius?
It's 29.4 degrees Celsius.
29.4 degrees Celsius right now. And for those of you who go by the metric system, the European way to measure things. And so it's going to be, they're saying by tomorrow up into the 90s. So that might push closer to the low 30s Celsius. So 29.44444444 says Grumpy Stack. Right on. So it's warm. It's not too humid, which makes it very nice. In my older age, I used to sleep with a fan, and the fan would point at me during the night. I loved the cool air and the breeze. I like the sound, but now it's too cold, and it's so darn cold down here in the studio and the master bedroom right next door. We've got like a hole or two somewhere or a crack in the rigging for the vents for our central air. So when the air is on in the house, when it's 85 degrees, we turn on the air low so it's not super hot inside. But down here, it's freezing. And I had to have the heater on down in the bedroom last night. So, and Rainey's like, it's too warm in here. I said, I'm freezing. I guess that's part of being old. It's humid here, but not oppressive yet, says Grumpy Stack. Yeah, I know temperatures down there. I was only in Louisiana from the end of January to the first week of May. What was that? 2 years ago now with Sam, and we were working down there, and so it wasn't too bad yet down there. But I don't like hot and humid. I don't like hot and sticky. Ugh. Warm I can handle. The stickiness factor doesn't work for me anymore. So anyway, I hope it's nice weather where you are for the holiday weekend. Memorial Day, when we remember how to picnic and play baseball and do all of those things, right? The real meaning of Memorial Day, hot dogs on the grill, and playing Frisbee, right? Those of you not living in America, I don't think you have Memorial Day like we have it, but it's memorializing our veterans and all those who died in the service of this country, keeping this country free. And so I want to thank all of those and anyone here who was in the military, to thank you all for putting your life on the line, literally. Maybe not everybody saw combat. When I was in service in the Marine Corps, I never saw combat. I never even got that far because of my back. But there are those who serve in combat zones, those who've risked life and limb, those who've been wounded, those who are injured physically, missing limbs, missing eyes, burned bodies, those who have PTSD, those, and I know some friends with that, those who have passed on. Do you know that there are an average of, I think they said, I saw this number and I'm trying to remember the time frame they put it in, something like an average of there is an average of 17 suicides every, I want to say day, but that sounds very high. I don't think it was per day, but there's a high percentage, let's put it that way, of suicides by former military who have PTSD and have come out of the military and are having a tough time coping with life. And something snapped, something was broken in those times that they spent overseas. So that's what Memorial Day is for here. It's for memorializing those who've fallen. And I raise a cup. Uncle Dave and I know some close people to us who have fallen in the military. Sean Gaffney is one that always comes to mind. We've talked about him before, and he died, oh, good grief, almost 20 years ago now. Maybe not quite that far back, 15 years ago to 16, 17 years ago. And he was the head of our reenacting group when we were doing Clan Tartan, and he was the military head. We've talked about him before. The one who would yell with the high-pitched voice. And so Dave Potter says, Uncle Dave says, my mom complains about 85 being cold. And, you know, the temperature doesn't change around us. It's our bodies change. And 22 suicides a day, says Grumpy Stack there. He looked it up. I saw an article or a video that was talking about 17. So it was 17 per day, they said, just a few days ago. Grumpy Stack has a different figure, 22 suicides a day. I remember watching one of my favorite shows to have watched on television was SEAL Team. And that was a show. It went 6 seasons, and I believe they're doing a 7th, but I'm not positive yet, of following the life and the exploits of a fictional SEAL team. And when that show first started, I know the SEALs came out and said that this was probably one of the most realistic programs ever done on what it's like to be part of a SEAL team. And it's all the things that go from the adventure, if you will, the action, the shoot 'em ups, the things that SEALs do, rescues and things like that, to how it affected them all individually and personally after so many years. And I know there was one episode, a series of episodes they did about somebody who eventually committed suicide, and because he couldn't cope with life anymore in the public sector. And Grumpy Stack says it's been 22 for a long time. Hopefully that number goes to 0. That would certainly be nice. So we're memorializing these people this weekend. I see Carlene is in the wings. I'm going to bring her in. Here we go. Hey, Carlene.
Good morning.
How you doing this morning?
It's hot and uncomfortable because we're on our second floor packing. We have an offer on our house. We made an offer on the other house.
Outstanding.
Things
Everett sent me a message and said you were waiting on an offer, that you missed the call on Friday and you were hoping to hear soon.
Yeah.
So if you got an offer on the house, is it a good offer?
Oh, we would have liked it to be a tiny bit better, but we can accept it.
Well, that's good. That gets that move going.
Yep.
huh?
Yep.
So,
And we'll be going over Tuesday. He'll be going over Tuesday after work to send your package off to you.
oh, I appreciate that. Everin wrote me yesterday, and he showed me a picture of this great hourglass.
Yeah.
And it was done in the Arthurian theme, King Arthur theme. And it was something he got from what is that organization again that sells stuff like that? They do
Yeah,
chess sets.
either Danbury Mint or Bradford.
Danbury Mint, something like that.
Danbury, yep.
And it's something he said he bought years ago. I had bought things from them years ago. I started collecting the Star Trek chess set and all
Oh,
the little gold and silver pieces, and they cost me like $30 a month, like 30
Yep.
years ago, per piece. And I started collecting that and stopped the collecting of it at some point when it was like, I'm collecting this set and I'm spending too much money on it.
Oh, yeah.
And even though they make it easy and say, here, you can buy one piece a month.
Yep.
And
Yeah, he has a chess set. I'm not sure what it is. I'm like, that will come with us. He has I forget what it is. Is it a backgammon or something? We'll probably get rid of that.
It's been years since the pieces I had are missing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I haven't seen
his
them in
chess set, I believe it was a Civil War set. Like I said, it's been
Yeah.
upstairs for so bloody long. I'm like, yeah, we didn't really, we would have liked a couple thousand more on the offer, but I'm like, you know what? We know the neighborhood we live in. Everybody who is around here knows this neighborhood.
Yeah.
Get while the getting's good.
Right. Oh, and by the way, I see Helene Moody is here. Haven't seen you for a while, Helene. I get messages from you every now and then. And she's also in London. We have a big London contingent, percentage-wise anyway, with Wendy and with Sandra, with Helene, and a few other people that come to us from England. Chris Conway every now and then from Scotland. So the British invasion.
There you go.
This morning. So are you getting ready, like starting to pack stuff?
Oh yeah. We got a second floor. Because we didn't have the second floor done. It's like, oh, let's just put the stuff we don't use right now up there, and we're going through it, and it's like, oh my God.
Oh, moving. How long have you been in the house you're in?
We've been here 14 years.
Yeah, that's 14 years of junk packed up.
Yeah, including the stuff that we each brought with us when we met each other, and it's like, yeah, that is not all going with us. It just is not happening.
That's right. Hey, field guy, he says have a garage sale to cover up the difference. Less stuff to move. That's we've done that every time we've had to move. We've had a garage sale to try to clear stuff out. And we still bring a load of shit with us.
Yeah.
And even though you go, hey, we made $3,000 in 4 days at this garage sale. Why do we still have a truck full of stuff just from the garage? And,
we got a bunch of stuff we're going to post online. It's like, okay, whatever. And if we don't, there's a really good nonprofit agency over in Claremont. They're called Helping Worries. They give money to... Yep. They give money to people who are fighting cancer and dialysis. And I'm like, yeah, if anybody's getting it, I'll call them. They'll come get it.
You can also call the veterans and you can donate. The veterans will come and pick up all your stuff.
I'll have to look into that. Cause like I said, I've donated to Helping Worries a lot. Cause my mother and grandmother both were victims to that horrible C word. And this woman sells the stuff and gives gas cards and actually donates some of the stuff to these people who are battling it.
Sure. Field guy, by the way, says we let the Beatles in, then all the Brits came. Steph Cuervo Queen is here. Good to see you, Steph. Glad you're here this morning. And by the way, anybody can call into the show, just like Carlene did.
Yep.
Here, I'll put an invite link. This will get you right into my studio, and your little picture from your camera will show up down in the bottom of my screen, grayed out. and I'll see you. You can even wave to me and stuff like that. Catch my attention, and I can bring you into the show. There's the link if anybody needs it. And so, by the way, I'm going to mention now, and Carlene, this involves you because you asked a question about this. I'm starting to port things over to the Patreon site. Now, the Patreon site, and I put up some old episodes up there. Frankly, there's some that I forgot I even did. And so you can go over there. There's 5 1-hour episodes up over there. One of them is more current, and some of them are digging back 3 years, maybe even 4 on a couple of them. And there are topics over there. So if you haven't seen it for a long time, you can comment on them, but there's not a chat room like this. There is a live feature over on Patreon, so I'm going to be working on that. But Carlene had asked an innocent question, totally worth talking about. She said, well, if I want to join your Patreon, that's $4 a month. What if I already paid for a membership over on YouTube? Well, you can keep both if you want, both together, depending on the level you came in. It's about, right now, $4 a month over on my Patreon is like a cup of coffee, half a cup of coffee at Starbucks. If you did $1 or $2 or $5 or $15 a month over on the YouTube channel, I hate to say this, but you can pull that back a little bit, but we're still going to be doing stuff. If you're going to put your money anywhere for this show, put it into the Patreon site and stop. If you've got one over on YouTube, go ahead and stop that. I'm going to start phasing out YouTube as a going concern, even though every show I do will show up over there. But I'll probably get taken off of YouTube because over on Patreon, they don't have the restrictions on the things I say.
Hello.
I mean, I can talk politics over there if I want to, and not be in fear of being shut down because I said something that doesn't go along with their narrative. They're just there to say, look, we're here to make money. You can make money doing your show. Let's do it together. I'm sure they have guidelines. I haven't looked at every guideline, but I know you can do and say things over there that you can't do and say over on YouTube. So I would love to encourage everyone to go over to my Patreon if you have not seen it. We don't have a lot of shows built up over there yet. You know why? Because I haven't broadcast from there yet.
Right.
But I'm putting up some old shows, as I mentioned. Here's the link to my Patreon.
Okay. That's...
Go on over there. You won't be able to watch anything unless you become a patron to the site, which costs you $4 a month. And but think of it this way. God, I hate doing this because it sounds like I'm a televangelist or something. That $4 a month goes to God's work. I'm going to interchange words. Goes to Scott's work. And it's not a big thing. It's not a big amount, but it allows you to see those shows. This is something that, to me, helps me augment the time and the effort I put into doing the show. And if you like the show, folks, and you're a regular and you got $4 to spare, come on over to Patreon and throw it up over there.
Yeah,
there you go, Carlene. That kind of helps answer the question.
Yes, it does. It's good. It's
you
good
didn't
to
pose
know.
that question to me to be mean or anything.
No.
Just like, what do you
I
do?
wanted to know if we were giving money to YouTube, if they were actually going to turn it back over to you. I am going to join your new site.
Cool.
There will be a delay because we will be changing bank accounts. Yeah, we'll be changing bank accounts, and I'm like, I'm not going to get all this set up and then have to go in and
still in the midst of figuring out the best way. Can I broadcast live from Patreon? I've got to see I've seen other shows that have done things over there that have a live chat that's going on, but it just could be that the live chat, you know how we used to do live chats 10 years ago?
Oh gosh,
it was all built in. We'd do the radio show, and then we had a link to a live chat site that you could set up, and the live chat, you'd have to have that open alongside the. So I've got to see if Uncle Dave keeps coming in and he keeps disappearing. I keep going to let him in, and he's gone. So Uncle Dave, keep trying. Oh, Patreon deleted my account because I haven't gotten a donation, said Field Guy. I got to make another one. Field Guy, if you go up over there, I'll donate to your Patreon.
Well, I just wanted
Not
to hop
much.
in and say it's glad to see you. I mean, we were all really concerned and sent our prayers out to you and your family there earlier this week. Glad it was
Yeah.
nothing worse than a pulled muscle, which can be a nightmare.
Yeah.
I'm still struggling with my hand. I got another month in this brace.
Well, I'm gonna tell a little story of why that all happened this week. So once we get into things here.
There you go. Okay, I'm going to listen on the side because he's on
All
the
right,
phone
Carlene.
with the realtor. But you all have a good day,
And you have a
I've been-
fun time getting ready to move.
oh yeah, I'm not having fun at all.
I hear you.
It's like when we moved here, we said this is it, and it's like, well, you see how well that worked. But
Yeah, right. Right.
you know,
That's like I said.
we'll be in warmer climate. My hands and body won't be aching so bad. When
You
they
know,
did
we rent this house. It's a big house. It's nice with a big yard, a nice neighborhood. We can do. She said you can do whatever you want to the house,
yeah,
but we're not going to put things into it that would increase the value of the house. Things like the whole downstairs here, no egress windows. Even though we have the master bedroom
that's
down here,
typical
rainy
when they
studio,
when they
family
inspecting
room.
it.
This studio, there's no egress windows. We got 3 little windows that maybe my kids
Yeah,
could
we
get
knew that.
through if we were burning down. But so we don't want to throw anything into it that's going to just increase the value of the home
Yeah,
without it benefiting us as a family. So we're holding off. But I'll
Yeah.
live here. We might even buy this house if she puts it up. So
Yeah.
but
that's
we'll
the
live
way to
here as
go.
long
Like
as
I
we
said,
have to and until we build. We were talking about doing the shipping container home for years. Rainey said, "Oh, I've moved on from that. I'm not shipping container minded anymore." She likes the barn dominiums. They're the big
I
steel
haven't-
homes you can build that look like a big barn, and it's huge. It's a house.
she would like my aunt and uncle's barn. They had my grandparents' old barn. It was built back when the farm was built. So we're talking 50 plus years ago. And
Right.
my aunt and uncle, I mean, not to brag, they worked their ass off at the job they had. They
Sure.
did HVAC. They were working 12, 14, 18-hour days. They made their money. They
Right.
earned their keep. They put mucho dinero into that barn. It
Mucho
looks better than,
dinero.
yeah, it looks better than
Mucho
most
grande.
looks better than most people's houses. I'm like, I'd live in that.
Yeah. Oh, look, Helene Moody says homes for heroes have got only one house for veterans right now. Very sad.
Wow.
It's,
Yeah,
it's
but
the economy.
how many homes have we got for all these ones invading our southern border?
Well, right, exactly.
Okay, you guys all have a good day. I'm going to listen on the
You too,
backside.
Carlene.
I'm going to my rock shop. I got some rocks to give them that were extras of the collection we have, and pick up my bead, and then I'll come back and play some more.
All right. Well, you go have
Yep.
a good time.
Yep.
By the way, Helene says our veterans charities are BS. Hope for Heroes stole the 16 million pounds they raised. That'd be like 22 to 20. No. That'd be closer to $30 million that they raised. And I went back to reading for the Veterans Center, reading the city for treatment for us military survivor kids, and that was shut down. So, yeah, some of these things. Dave, do you know what it's called? Good morning, Uncle Dave, by the way.
How are you today?
I'm good. What is the name of the charity that we have that's for veterans? Where they? Do
Well,
you
there's
happen to know
several.
off the top of your heads? Your
Save
heads?
American Veterans, DAV, and there is
I know there's Wounded Warriors.
Wounded
and
Warriors and Tunnels
That's a
for
really
Tower.
good one.
Wounded Warriors and Tunnels to Tower are rated very high in the amount of money they collect, how much actually gets to the charity. Tunnels for Tower, it's like 90 cents out of every dollar goes to the charity type thing.
That's good.
Yeah, a lot of them can't say that. And
Field guy, 16 million pounds. Here, hold on. I'll find out exactly. Hey Siri, what is 16 million British pounds in American dollars? There you go.
$21.
That's right. The exchange rate has changed. It used to be almost double. Anything American, wait, what was it?
But what is it now?
Anything British, if you had $1 British sterling, it was almost $2 American. No, the other way around. We were half. Now we're catching up because of our poor economy.
What did Siri
So
say it is now?
19 million. 16 million to 19 million American. That used to be, it would be like 16 million would be 16 doubled is 32. It would be like 27 million. So you can see how the dollar is devalued over the last 2 years here.
Thanks,
So,
Joe.
anyway, we got Sandra hanging in the wings. Bring Sandra in. How you doing, Sandra? Over in
Hiya,
London.
how are you? How
Good.
are you today? How you
Doing all
feeling?
right.
Feeling much better? Good.
Feeling
Hi
much
Dave,
better.
how are you?
Hello, hello.
Good.
Hello, hello.
Good to see. Hello.
Yeah, I
It's the
was gonna
afternoon
tell
here.
the little story of what happened. All it was
Yeah.
I came home on Tuesday. It was the Tuesday night shift. I worked until 6 a.m. Wednesday. I got home and somebody had dumped garbage all over our, I don't know if it was a kid or if a raccoon dumped our garbage over, but so I was
Yeah.
like, oh, great. So I went and I changed into my casual togs and went back
Yeah.
out and had a cup of coffee and took the big scoop shovel and shoveled all that stuff up. And it
Yeah.
was just a mess. I mean, it wasn't like, oh, paper and cardboard and a tin can. It was like watermelon rinds, old meat, old sauces, and it was just bleh,
Oh,
all over the place. And so
nasty.
I scooped that all up. And then I went
Yeah.
to bed and I got up a couple of hours later. I woke up. The kids were already at school and I drove them to school. And then I went to bed and I woke up about 10 o'clock and I had a real sharp pain on the right side of my sternum. And it was like right there. I even push on it now
Yeah.
and it still hurts a little, but it went like through my body to my back.
You
And
may have
I
popped a rib.
couldn't, I would turn my head and it would searing pain. I still feel it when I move the wrong way.
Sounds like a popped rib.
Or yeah, it was something, it was between my shoulder blade and my spine, right in that area and kind of radiating down. And I went, oh shit, that hurt. And I was walking around like Mr. Gimpy. And I even said to Rainey, and you know, I was sitting there having coffee with her, and I'm just sitting with my head in my hand, and I'm like, oh, I feel like crap. And you know that where you get, Dave, I know you have it because you have severe back issues. When you get that severe back pain, there's sometimes you're like, I'm going to be sick. You just feel sick from it. And
That's right.
so, you know, I said, I'm going to go to the chiropractor because the first thing I'm thinking, all of my heart issues have always and ever been on the left. It's been up in my shoulder, into my armpit, the left side of my upper left side of my chest. Every time the first heart attack I had, which ended up in surgery, and every subsequent little heart attack. And I've never had the clutching my chest pain ever. It's always like, even the big one where I had the surgery, it was like, and Dave, you remember this? I said, I said to Rainey, I said, God, is this what a heart attack feels like? I'm not clutching my chest and falling to the ground. And I know friends of mine that have had heart attacks they found them passed out 6 hours later on the floor of the living room. And I'm like, oh my God. And anyway, so this was manifesting on the right. And it was more surface. You know, you can feel when things are internal versus it felt like it was on top of the bone. And then
See, that's a popped rib.
Yeah. And then when I would turn my
Sounds
head, it hurt so bad. I thought I was going to crumple over onto the floor. And I said, that to me, I said to Rainey, feels like a muscular issue, not an internal issue. And i.e. organs and things like that. And so I went to the chiropractor. They fit me in real quick, and that didn't work. He said, he says, sometimes when you get this pain in your sternum and it goes over to your shoulder blade on the right, that can indicate a gallbladder issue. And I said, well, I don't have one. I haven't had a gallbladder for about 10 years. And he says, well, that's out. And he said, maybe you should go get it checked. Go check with your doc. So I got home and I told Rainey, and it was taking my breath away. And I thought, Rainey said, you never know how these things manifest. She said, you should go to the ER. I'm going to drive you there right now. Get ready to go. And I sat on the sofa going, I literally had my head in my hand, and I'm going, let me just sit and contemplate whether I want to go to the ER. Because whenever you go to the ER, even if it's nothing, you're
It's
there
a
like
whole
a
day.
half a day,
It's the rest of
and
the
they
day.
send you home with Pepto-Bismol and say, get some bed
Yeah.
rub. And so I thought, I do not feel like going and sitting in the ER. And Rainey's like, I get that, but what if it's serious? Okay. So I went in, and Rainey took me in, and we're sitting in there, and they did an EKG, the first thing. And the doctor, she was Suri was her last name. She was Indian. Oh my God. She says, your EKG is off the scale. She said, it is very bad. And she said, we've already been putting in motion where we've got an ambulance to take you to the big city hospital, which is about half an hour, 40-minute drive from here. And 20 minutes in the back of an ambulance with the sirens going. And I said to the ambulance attendee, when they were driving me up there, I said, I could see the exit we were coming off on, curving off out the back window. And I said, wow. I said, I don't think I've ever taken this exit that fast, and I speed. So, well, they got me there, and they did the EKG right away. And the doc, the cardiologist said, he said, there's a thing about EKGs. He said, if your EKG looks bad and it's off the scale, he says, we're going to immediately look back at all your records of all your EKGs since you've had heart issues. And he says, if they kind of all look the same, he says, I wouldn't be as worried about your EKG. And then we're talking post-surgery and all of that.
Oh.
So they looked back, and he came back and said, they're pretty much the same. He says, so I don't think we have to worry about that
You
part.
have a frantic heart.
Yes. And he said, but we want to do tests.
Yeah.
And so that was Wednesday morning. And so there I am in my beautiful hospital gown, flashing my butt cheeks to the world. And they got all the wires and EKGs. I still haven't got showering. Doesn't take this stuff off. This from all the bandages and so they had an IV in this arm, giving me drugs, fentanyl type of a thing. And I said, fentanyl, really? And I said, you use that for medicinal purposes?
They don't
go,
get it from Mexico, though. They get the good stuff.
Yeah. That's what the ambulance driver said. He said, fentanyl gets bad press because of the bad stuff that comes in. He says, fentanyl is really good. And he says, it's a microscopic dose that you get. So they put me on that. And that helped the back pain go away for a while. And so they hooked me all up, and I had all the wires. And then you're wearing this little a hospital shift that snaps on the shoulder so they can rip the snaps open if they need to and make you naked real quick. And open back. I said, don't even tie it. I said, it's too constraining. I'll get claustrophobic. And so I'm laying on the bed and all these wires. And then they put the thing for taking the constant EKG. It's like an old transistor radio. And they shove that in the pocket, the breast pocket of the gown. And so the gown is like, it pulls way down, and you're constantly pulling it up. And so, hey, good morning, Leslie Holker. Good to see you. And Daniel Ondra, good to see you as well. And so I spent a couple of days and a couple of nights. I was there Wednesday, Thursday, and finally came home at 5:00 on Friday. And the tests, and it was like, and they were overcrowded. It was like the ER here at the really good hospital in New Richmond was like quiet and serene and peaceful, nice music. You get into the ER up at Regions Hospital in St. Paul, which is the capital city of Minnesota, and the big city, and it was like frantic in there, and they didn't have a bed for me, and they said, "But we got to get you in here," and so I'm laying in a hospital bed. It looked like a file closet, because there were metal racks with bedding all over them and cups and stuff stacked up over on that rack, and it was gray, and it was like, where are the brooms and the mops? Aren't they in here somewhere too? And Just to give you an idea,
I'll be back.
my blood sugar dropped way
Yeah.
down. I
Oh.
could feel it, and I said
Mm.
to one of the attendees, he was an orderly, I think, a young guy, and I said, "Do you
Yeah.
happen to have something?" I said, "My blood sugar's really dropped." I said,
Yeah.
"Do you have something sugary? I need to drink some juice or something." "Oh, yeah. Let me go find you something," because they weren't prepped down there to, they're waiting for a room for me to open up. And so he comes in and he brings a handful of like graham crackers, individually wrapped, and a chocolate pudding cup, and what else? Some cranberry juice.
Mm.
And he's looking around. There's no table because it's not a room that's used for. And he grabs the
No.
laundry bin, which has the round flat top on it, stainless steel, rolls that over and throws it all in there. He goes, "There you go." And he starts walking out. I go, "Thanks." He goes, "Hey, anytime, man."
Oh.
He wasn't a nurse. And so I had that stuff, and I hate chocolate pudding. I
Oh.
couldn't even go, "Excuse me, I prefer butterscotch."
Well, I do like
uh,
chocolate, unfortunately.
So then, within
Oh,
an
gosh.
hour or so, they had a room for
Yeah.
me, and they bring me
Oh, that's good.
upstairs. And anytime I've ever been up at Regents for the surgery, for subsequent testings and stuff, where I've had to stay at least overnight, they do the, running the coat hanger through my groin up to my heart and checking things out.
Yeah.
And I always have a private room. Well, this time they were so overcrowded. I'm in the room with some guy who had his leg amputated, and older guy, and he's coughing, and he was out of it pretty much the whole time I was there. But you got the little curtain, and it's
Yeah.
still a nice room, woodwork
Yeah.
and nice floors and a nice 6-story view of the city. And but he's over there the whole time I'm there going, I gotta shit. He'd yell. And
Oh,
but
my
then he wouldn't
goodness.
remember what he was saying. He was so
Oh.
drugged up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Lovely.
so,
Oh.
beggars can't be choosers. I
No.
had no private rooms were available. So I got the halfy room.
Oh.
And it was
Yeah.
okay. I had my own TV and stuff like that. And so I basically sat, and the pain went away from the back, and they're doing all these tests, but they're so overcrowded and overbooked at the moment that they said, "We're going to try to get you in for an angiogram today." That's where they run the
Yeah.
wire up and the camera.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that was supposed to be Wednesday afternoon. Then it turned into sometime Thursday. And then it went from sometime Thursday to, "We finally got you booked for 10 o'clock Friday morning." Okay. So another night. But they had done the CT scan, all of that stuff. They put me through
Yeah.
a battery of tests. And the good thing was everything was coming back negative. "Oh, you're so far, no problems." And we want to do that angio because we want to see what all the veins around your heart are doing. And we finally had that. It was scheduled for 10 in the morning on Friday. I got in around noon on Friday, and that came back with flying colors. You're good. They said, as good as you can be. You've got a graft on your heart. They said that graft, and I deal with all this stuff with humor. I try to have a sense of humor and everything.
Well, yeah.
And I joke around a lot with the docs and all of the nurses and all of that. And sometimes it's not expected coming from
No.
a heart patient. But I started by Friday, I was getting just laying in bed. I would get up and try to walk around, but I'm all hooked up to the tower, that's got all the devices.
Yeah.
On. Beep,
Yeah.
beep,
No.
beep.
No.
And all the wires and all my IVs, at IV in both arms, and I'm like, so I'd walk around and have to roll that thing around with my gown hanging open in the back, revealing my buttocks to the world. I finally put my shorts on. I went in a pair of, grubby shorts and a grubby sweatshirt.
Yeah.
That's what I was
Yeah.
wearing. And I pulled my shorts back on so I could walk around. And
Yeah.
I did walking. "Are you okay? You feeling okay?" I said, frankly, I said, "I feel almost guilty because I feel just fine." I said, "I feel I'm tired. I'm worn out," because, they wake you up in the middle of the night to say, "We just wanted to make sure you're sleeping okay." And I said, "Well, I was."
Until you woke me up.
You woke me up.
Yeah.
They always come in and they
Yeah.
go, "We are here to
Yeah.
take your blood. It's time for a blood." You know, and I go, "Can you just
Oh,
take the IV?"
yeah.
And you know, because it's always got the little side thing that comes off that seals up. What? All right. Do you want to sing it on the radio? No. Well, come over here and at least say hi. So
Mhm.
here's Ellery. You can see the kind of I can't see you. She's wearing a swimsuit. That's okay. The world is full of swimsuits.
Yeah,
So
I've got one upstairs somewhere.
that's how warm it is outside. They're going outside.
Yeah, it's warm over here. It's very warm. It will be for the next few days. So I'm
It's
quite
hot here.
happy about that.
So,
I'm happy. I'm happy you've
we can
got over
rebuild
that
the
anyway.
technology.
So-
I wrote a song.
She wrote a song.
Oh,
Sing
right.
it for
Okay.
everyone? You sure?
Yeah.
You want to sing us just a little bit? Give us a taste of it? Here we go. Oh, she's gone.
Oh, there you
Oh,
go.
Oh,
She's
no,
gone.
it doesn't work up there because it blots everything out on the radio.
So are we still best friends, even when tomorrow ends? Remember party fights, staying up all night.
Very nice. And it's a long
That's good.
song. So she sings it in that style of kids' music nowadays. So
Yeah,
very good, baby.
yeah. If
Good
you're on America's Got Talent.
There it is. One of these days.
Yeah,
Oh, Reading. Silly English, says Helene.
Reading. Yeah,
Reading.
it's a place over here somewhere.
I
Yeah.
want to go on a plane.
You want to go on a plane?
Yeah.
Where do you want to go?
To America's Got Talent.
To what? Oh, America's Got Talent. Yeah. Well, you keep working on that song, and we'll
Finished it.
well practice it so you know it by heart.
Mm.
We'll pull some
We got
strings.
Britain's Got Talent. We've got
She
Britain's
just
Got
fell up
Talent over
there.
here at the moment.
Joe
That's why I
Biden.
said that.
So
Yeah, we got Britain's Got Talent going on over here at the moment. That's why I said that.
my little girl,
Yeah.
she was presenting that song to me last night, and she goes,
Yeah.
"This is my song I wrote, Dad." It goes like this: "Let's have his friend, and then her husband, and I'm like trying to figure out what she's saying. What was that word? What's that word? Fuzz. I said fuzz. Oh, okay. What's the fuzz
Okay.
part? Dad, just listen to the song. Okay, all right.
Song, please.
So- But the neat thing, she asked me if I'd help her write the song. I said, no. I said, I can help you with some tips on what to do to write a song. I said, but the
Okay.
song's got to come out of you. It's got to be what you feel, what you think. And so I gave her some tips and pointers. I sat with her for about a half an hour, and she wrote
Yeah.
the whole song out. And she wrote a kid's book last year or 2 years ago now that was
Oh,
just simple, but she drew the pictures and it was gorgeous. And
this takes after you, see, with the
so
drawing and the
she's
letters.
got the talent. So she's 8
Yeah.
years old. She could do something.
Definitely.
So
Yeah.
hey, Sarah Yusuf. And so she did a good job, and she's very proud of it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's weird. It's like listening to, who are the people that, like the, who are some of the young stars in pop nowadays,
Oh,
Some of them I
good
don't
grief,
even
you're asking
know,
me that.
and I struggled with her name last time I tried to say it. She was on a TV show about 10, 11 years ago, Victorious on Nickelodeon, redhead, and she's Hispanic or Latino, and 3 names she has. I'm trying to think of what her name is, and she's huge now, just absolutely huge.
Yeah.
But she does all those songs that are like, and it's like, so my kids listen to that stuff, and they're like, oh, you're singing.
I'll have to look that up because I only know like Lady Gaga and Katy Perry, ones like that.
Yeah, like those.
Yeah.
Who is the one? Now it's gonna kill me. Somebody look up. Who's
Anyone out there?
American pop star with 3 names. God damn, I can't think of her name.
Is anyone out there?
Elvis.
Just put it up.
Is what?
Does anyone out there know? They can put it on the thing on the
Yeah, that'd be
chat.
nice.
Ask them.
Yeah, two god
Just
awful
you
artists.
know.
And here is Wendy. Good morning,
Hello.
Wendy. Wicked women, Wendy.
Well,
Good to see you, darling.
Hiya.
We're gonna have a bit of Wicked Wendy on a Sunday, right?
We've got Wicked Wendy today.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling fine. I'm feeling my normal self. I got back to sleeping.
Yeah.
I didn't sleep much last night, which is funny. I didn't even go to sleep till about 5 a.m. this morning. I slept half the day yesterday.
How dare you
And-
try and get out of Robertson like that?
Yes. And what?
She said that Ariana Grande was
Ariana Grande. It's not three
and
names.
Sam and Cat.
And Sam and Cat. Yeah. Ariana Grande. She doesn't have three names. Why did I think?
Well, I
Yeah,
literally
three
just
names.
popped on because just wanted to see how you were, and it's really nice to see you back, Scotty. Because
It's really
You
nice
worried-
to see you
you
back.
worried us all so much.
I
and,
know. I appreciate that so much.
You were looking really, really tired when I last saw you, and we
And-
talked a lot, and I could see that you were
Oh.
tired.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I'm tired now, but not like, they didn't do anything to me other than, they found the end of the story is
Yeah.
nothing. They rang all clear bell tolled.
That's
Careful.
good.
You're on that rim down
That's
there when
because
you
you're,
stand on that
you're a
rim.
Jedi, right?
What's that?
It's because you're a Jedi.
Because I'm a Jedi.
You're a Jedi.
This is not, these are not the drugs you're looking for. Yeah,
These are not
but-
the drones you're looking for.
that's right. It was your force, Wendy. You used the force.
I think not, because you wouldn't have been in hospital in the first place.
Well, that's true.
It's my fault.
I did.
but-
I did talk to Wendy yesterday for quite a while with Michael, too, was there, and we had a great conversation yesterday. I didn't know you were going fishing.
Yeah, when Uncle DJ gets here.
I didn't know Uncle DJ was coming over.
Well, we're going fishing tonight.
I'm left uninformed, so I don't know. We'll see. I'll be done here in an hour-ish or so. So, okay, bye.
Ah,
I love you.
So,
So-
are we back on Tuesday?
We're back on Tuesday.
We're back on
And
Tuesday.
Tuesday, I was so out of it. Wendy and I were supposed to do Robertson. And working that night, I did Sunday, Monday, Tuesday nights. And when Tuesday rolled around, I started on Monday night.
Yeah.
And so you get home, you're dragging your butt, you go to bed, you wake up a few hours later and you go, it's Monday. I felt like it was still Monday. And so I was all screwed up, and I went the whole day before I realized at about 4:20 in the afternoon, 20 minutes after we're supposed to be on air, I'm like, oh my God. I've
I know.
totally,
That's why I messaged you earlier on. I was like, as I've not heard from you.
and I was sleeping. So I missed it. And I turn off my ringers when I sleep during the day so I don't hear anything.
I know.
And so I got a hold of Wendy real quick, and she said, oh, I'm not feeling up to it today either. And
No.
so maybe it's a good day to call it. And I said, well, that's good now that we're 20 minutes late.
I just don't
So-
know how I did. I don't know how I did Wicked Women last Sunday, and I really shouldn't have done it because I'd been
Yeah.
in prevention for 3 days, full out working for 3 days. I hardly had eaten. I was so tired, and I was like, no, show's got to go on. I can't let them down. And I did it, and I actually look back, and I think I'm kind of on autopilot.
You never let me down.
You old spoofer.
So, yeah, but we'll be back this next Tuesday.
Well,
And I was just worn out, and I mixed up my days. And then it led to, and I was so exhausted by the time the next morning came around. That's when I strained my back. That's when all the and stress and blah, 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 you name it, XYZ down the line. And I felt like shit when I went into the hospital. And I didn't sleep well there, but I got some rest there. And by the time the third day was rolling around, I said to the nurse, I said, I'm feeling kind of guilty because I'm taking up bed space when you're overcrowded and all these tests, which are expensive tests.
yeah, they are.
My insurance covers it, thank goodness. And I said, but I said, I feel fine. and I feel almost cheery. But by I will admit, by Wednesday morning, or no, what was it, Wednesday? No, yesterday morning. When did I come home? Yesterday was Saturday. See, yesterday was Saturday. So Friday morning, I'm like, I feel kind of guilty being here, and because I feel good. And well, you just settle down now. We got to do these tests, and so everything turned out fine, which is good. There was no further episode. They found out a couple of other little things that they said, maybe in a year you should have this checked out again. And I said, will I die in the next year? And they said, probably not. And so, just little things, CT scans, stuff like that. And so
I was so shocked to see it because it must have happened when I was in bed, obviously because of the time difference. And I woke up to it and I was like, oh my God, we'd spoken Tuesday night, briefly. And then I was like, oh shit, and that's why I was like, now listen here, young man, you're not going anywhere. Don't even think about you're going anywhere.
Right.
And, it was such a shock because I remember from the previous time that you'd had it.
And then I don't like to get on. I like to let people know what's going on in my social media, but I don't like to get on it. I see some people put up these 10-paragraph long things about. I just said, what did I say in mine? I said, hey folks, no show tonight because I got to go to the hospital. I might be there for a day or two. So we'll be back on Wednesday night, I said. And of course I was still in the hospital Wednesday night. And so that didn't work.
And then Friday it was like, who is the devil's advocate on Wicked Woman? Who is
would that be the Goody Two Shoes woman?
Devil's
you have the Wicked Women, Wendy and Rainey has not made it in there yet. I don't know if she's ever going to be able to do it.
Have a new kind of lineup on Wicked Women, and
you've got Valerie.
We have Kay that comes in from Calgary. She's now going to be with us on a regular basis. And Carly, as loves to come on. So if
there's Dr. Feelgood, Michael. We lost Sandra. Sandra, you can try to call back in if you'd like. So
so Kay takes over. Well, not taking over, but she comes and joins us, and she's from Calgary. So we've got UK, America, Canada, and last week we had another Brit, and then also we've got Carly, who's from. Is it Chicago, Michael?
Yeah. She's Chicago area. She's like Gary, Indiana type.
I'm not sure who the devil's advocate is. That probably would be me. Because the devil's coming out of me, isn't it? I think Scotty did that deliberately.
I did that deliberately. Uncle Dave is here. He's just not here. I think he's tending to his parents at the moment. Yeah. Hey, can you two take the show for a moment? I'm going to go get some hot coffee.
No, we're going to time you. How long? 10 minutes?
In my Son of a Patriot mug, which you can get at my Etsy page. So, yeah, I'll be right back, guys. You just take it over.
Hey, but bring enough coffee for everybody. It's still early.
Got it. Yeah, right.
So this is probably a really good time for me to just steal down these comments, and I don't have my glasses on, which says, there he is, Uncle Dave's in the room.
Hello, darling.
How are you, darling?
His Phil guy said, Dr. Feelgood has lost his distinguished.
Oh, Dr. Feelgood has lost his disguise. Yes, there's no more beard. Not my doing, I have to say.
No, I bought a straight razor, tried it out a little bit.
You're a braver man than I. I do a lot of things historically. Shaving, I'll use the brush and cut, but I do not use a straight razor.
Well, I tell you what, it's a different feel. I'll tell you what.
It is when you cut your throat too, a different feel.
Should have took the grown pic. Citizen on Wicked Women, I actually used a picture of a bottom, like it was literally the indent of the bottom cheeks. And YouTube said, yeah, but you can't use that because it's a bottom and it's sexual. And I was like, it's the indent of the cheeks at the top. And they said, no, you can't use it. And they absolutely took it away. And I was like, okay, then we won't use any bottoms in future. Where are we
Oh,
going?
well. I was gonna say, tell him. Hold still, Milo. Tell him. What?
Mila's in the house.
Yeah, I was gonna say, tell him to kiss her butt. Ain't that
That's
right?
it. Contrarian to general opinion. That's too.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure. Sarah writes, devil's advocate as in contrarian to general opinion. Well, we do our best.
And one good thing about Wicked Women, after the show, Wendy and the girls bring on a gentleman to get their opinion on what was said. And we had another gentleman finally got brave enough to come on the other day.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, Keith.
Yeah, I thought it was just going to be me.
Uncle Dave, I haven't seen you there yet. What's going on?
I have yet to see this show. It's always come on. I've got some other conflict or some other thing happening every
There
single
are
time.
4 gorgeous women running this show.
4 o'clock today, Dave. 4 o'clock.
2 brunettes, no, 2 blondes, a brunette, and a redhead. I have to get that right. And it's going to be on. We've changed the time now, so it's actually an hour earlier than it would have normally been. So
I don't know if that helps.
10 p.m. UK time, and then is it 3 Calgary, 5 Eastern, and 4 Central? Is that right? I think that's right.
Yep. And
so you need to do that. Awesome.
First is Uncle Terry. Now it's Uncle Dave coming up with excuses. I don't know what's going on with
I
him.
think a lot of people don't, even though I tag them in it, because it's right in the middle of the afternoon, your time, I think a lot of people don't get the chance to see it because they're busy out doing things. And I think they watch it on replay. And yes, a lot of people in the middle of the work with Wicked Women. So unfortunately, because of the time difference, we have to do it that way. Like Robertson is done at 10 o'clock at night here, 4 o'clock in Scotty's time.
5 o'clock my time.
Yeah, because we don't get the option. I'm loving that background of Scotty's though. That looks so nice.
By next week, not this Sunday when I come on after the show, in the afterglow, I should have my office studio set up.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. My screen is dying. It's going different colors here. I need a new monitor, Dave.
Yeah.
Phil Guy was actually really good because he comes in and talks quite a lot, which is great. And we almost had another guy brave enough to join us, and he's like, "I'll come on again and do it," and that's really good. It's really important.
Yeah. If Phil Guy don't come on this Sunday with me, I want to go to Louisiana and find him and drag him on.
Uncle Dave, are you okay, Uncle Dave? What's going on?
I'm dealing with some health issues, but I'm fine.
Is there anything that I need to come over there and sort you out and give you vitamin C and all that kind of stuff?
I'm taking care of all that stuff.
Good.
So,
how's your mum and dad?
Wow, the memory is really going on both of them last night. Dad came in with the remote for the wireless mouse that gets plugged into the laptop.
Yeah.
And he's like, I found this plugged into our laptop. I don't know what it is. And I said, well, it's the remote for the or for the mouse. And he's like, well, I've never seen it before. I said, okay, it's always been there. And I pulled up my laptop and showed him mine. And I said, every computer in this room has one for their mouse. It's how the mouse functions. Oh, I don't remember that. And I said, okay, which of us has a faulty memory? And he kind of gives me that cross look. And I said, okay, is it possible you just don't remember? And then he got kind of angry at me for pointing that out. But it's just like one of those things. It's
every Sunday, Elvis. Sorry, Elvis just
every day I have something that's,
when you're taking care of your parents, no matter what form you do it in, it is
trying.
It is trying. It's very tiring because when our parents get older, and I hate to see it, my mum's still really independent, but there are times where she is like a youngster, like a kid, and you have to do your best to reassure them. And it's like, where did my mum go? Like she's still my
Yeah.
mum, but where did my mum go? She's become a different person. And it's like,
It
You
is.
know,
It's very true.
I remember someone once saying to me, they lost their mum when she was 60 through cancer, and they said to me, I feel for you because you'll watch your mum get old, and kind of,
Okay,
my mum, she went out.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Yes.
There's Beth. Beth says, good morning. And okay, Phil Guy said, maybe I can today. I don't know yet.
So we got a call upstairs. That's probably the call that came in at the very opening of the show. My friend Heather Marie, who I did the Chicago concert with her. She owns the rigging company that does
Yeah.
all the light and sounds for these big concerts. And she's got to drive down to outside of Chicago today to pick up a car. And she said, I could just fly down, but, she said that's too much hassle. She was wondering if either Rainey and I could go with her. And Rainey's taking the kids fishing with her brother, which I didn't know about. So now, folks, here's a slice of life for you. This is the way things go in my house. It's, we're going fishing today? I didn't know about this. And so Rainey said, Scotty can drive down with you, and, you can pick up your new car. And she bought a car outside of Chicago. So it's 4.5 hours each way. So that's what I'll be doing this afternoon. So she's going to come and get me at 1 o'clock, and we're going to leave for Chicago, and which is a 4.5 hour drive, kind of west southwest or east
Sarah,
southeast from here.
Today's topic is called toxic love.
Oh,
What
I
time is
interrupted
it?
you. Sorry.
What time is it?
I was just answering Sarah's question. She just wrote there, and she said,
Sorry about that.
what is the topic for Wicked Women? And I said, today is toxic love.
Toxic love.
Oh, that Helen Moody said, some women scare me too. Women can be very, very
Intimidating.
toxic to each other. A lot of times they're more toxic
look
to
who's
other
here.
women than they are.
Oh, now we're in trouble.
We've got Professor Bauer is here, and we've got
Hey, Prof.
Sterling here. Look at this. We got a full house now.
I'm
See
outnumbered.
what you do, Wendy? Sorry, Michael. You too, and Uncle Dave. People are drawn to Wendy. Not.
Yeah. Sterling didn't call
No,
in
no.
because I'm here.
How you all doing, guys?
Sandwich.
All right. You still down in Cartagena?
Oh no, I'm in Colombia, but I'm in Barranquilla.
Okay.
And I've been having audio issues today. At any point, if it's bad, please let me know. Okay.
Cartagena, Bologna, they all look the same to me.
Professor, just be careful what comes out your mouth, because we know it's a deadly weapon.
You talking to me?
I'm talking to Professor. I'm just saying to Prof, be careful what comes out your mouth. We know it's deadly.
Still reminds me of my favorite line from the animated film The Iron Giant. Has everybody here seen that?
No.
Phenomenal film. It's 20 years old
It's a great
now.
piece of animation.
But there was Harry Connick Jr. voiced the guy that was kind of the beatnik. It's 1959, and in the setting of the film, and he owns a junkyard. And the Iron Giant is aliens. He eats metal, and he's eating something, but he does art and sculpture out of junk. And so that's the setting, and the Iron Giant's eating it, and he goes, look what you're eating. That's not junk. That's art. He goes, that thing in your mouth is art. So that's my line nowadays. That thing in your mouth is art.
You bet it is, baby.
That could be a topic for the Wicked Women show that I've been hearing about, is the art of the tongue.
Yeah,
There it is.
I think that did you go and flog yourself, Prof, when you found that poor Scotty was banned for a week because he was like,
Yeah.
I'm so bad.
I don't blame Professor Bauer. It's something he said, but it was a stupid thing to get banned from YouTube for a week.
Well, especially when there's a whole bunch of others that had been going at that quite deftly
Yeah.
and had no problems or issues whatsoever. I think.
Well, they were looking
I
for.
think
a
you've
reason.
ticked off the fact checkers over there, Scotty. I think it's
I
something to
did.
do with your patriotic, persuasion that you do, and the imagery, the words, the music. I mean, it's all
Right.
just anti-woke, and that's just not cutting it these days.
That's pretty
Work
much.
faster on the Patreon so we can do all Trump all day.
The
24/7.
Patreon folks is ready to roll. All I have to figure out on Patreon now is how to do a live show. But right now, the reason for the Patreon is to make the show part of the show is you only get it if you're a paying member over there, which is, if I might add, folks, put in a little ad again, less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks per month to get 15 live shows a month and or pre-recorded and stuff like that. What's that? What's that, Sterling?
That's 15, you guys. 15.
15.
Giving it away.
Yeah, but
Giving it
I mean,
away.
I want a mug thrown in or something, a key ring or something that says
Yeah.
you
It's already
belong.
a bargain. It's already
You
a
belong
bargain.
to the club.
I will be handing. I'll be, as a premium. We'll be giving away autographed pictures by Wendy, and
No, oh really? Am I getting paid for that?
we'll get Professor Bauer to do his cheesecake pose, and he'll autograph those for the ladies.
The ladies,
So
the
there you
ladies.
go.
House.
Only
Well, the guys
ladies?
too.
Only? Okay, good.
There you go. There you go.
Well, I hadn't seen the movie Sahara with Matthew McConaughey
Yeah.
I love that movie.
from back
I
in
liked
the
it.
early
Such a fun
2000s.
romp.
And the opening scene, I'm sitting there and I'm watching it, and I said, I told these guys that they don't use my stunt double without royalties. And so I had to make a few phone calls. I haven't heard anything back yet, not surprisingly, but
That's right. Sue, I say, Sue, baby, Sue.
Can you say the immortal 3 words, Prof?
well, let's
Come
see.
on.
Let's see if I can conjure it up. All right.
All right. All right. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, Michael, you're actually from that. You got to say
And
it.
actually, what's her name?
All
The
right, all right.
Latino actress who was in that cruise? Was it
Penelope Cruz. Was
Penelope
it
Cruz? She was
Yeah.
rather fetching in that movie as well.
She's very pretty.
So, might I
She
add.
was quite the little badass in that show, and
She was.
yeah. And then I was trying to figure out, wasn't she married to Tom Cruise
No.
at one point?
No, I don't think so.
Relationship.
Different spelling.
Yeah.
She spells
No,
it
I know
A,
it's a
I
different
think.
spelling, but I thought that they were married or.
No, he
That'd
had
be
a-
interesting.
He had a relationship with Penelope Cruz.
That's what
but
Wendy and I said. Were we ever to be married? Would we hyphenate our last names? Robertson.
you know
Hello.
what, Scotty?
I'm
I've
Wendy
actually
Roberts
heard
Robertson.
you say Robertson. This is Scotty Robertson. This is Scotty Robertson. You've actually said that.
Have I? Have I?
And you're
Freudian slip.
right.
So,
You might be able to settle in the middle. Robert So?
Robert So. Hey, we could be Italian. Robert So.
Roberto.
Roberto.
So.
Yeah, Roberto. It's got that Latin flair to it, and so.
Seems fair.
And all of you, as I've said before on Robertson, and even on this show, I've mentioned it. Wendy and I, we've known each other so long, almost 20 years or solid 20 years now.
Yeah, 20 years.
I met my wife 18 years ago. It was very possible that, and I'm putting words into Wendy's mouth here. I'm just making brash assumptions. If I had met Rainey, I'd probably be married to Wendy. So,
Well, that would involve you getting on a plane and
it would have.
coming
The
to
problem
Canada.
was you were 3,000, 4,000 miles away, and Rainey was
I was
4
in
miles away.
I was in Canada because I went out to Canada in 2005.
That's right.
And I got married in 2006. So you had a short window to get in there before I became a Robertson.
There was that short window.
And by the time you actually did, you could have done that. I'm sure Rainey was around because I remember you saying to me that you'd met this.
2004, I met her. 2005,
Me.
we started dating, and we were married in 2007. So
Yeah, year after me. Yeah.
yeah,
copied me, Scotty. You copied.
I did. I
got
I
married.
was so what's the word I'm looking for? I was so
Devastated, heartbroken.
saddened, heartbroken when she got married. I'm like, oh no.
Devastated.
And, but
The thing, you
what's that, Dave?
I was
Get-
devastated.
Dave was devastated
What, that you got married?
that I got married. Yeah, Dave really had the
No,
heart.
that you got married.
Yeah. Dave lost his drinking buddy. Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of it.
Oh no,
But you know, people
the
don't
two
think
of them getting married. I knew both of them before they knew each other. So
Yeah, Dave knew us both for years already.
So,
Dave, I also met through MySpace too, right? And he
Yeah,
had
we were all MySpace back at the
amazing
time. Remember that site?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
That's how we met.
I
Did you ever have a
technically still
MySpace, Sterling?
site. I
Yeah,
just don't go out
that's-
there very often.
That's probably like 2000, around 2000.
Yeah. Tom from MySpace.
I
Yeah,
remember
and it
saying-
was very new. It was very new when we both signed on.
Yes.
I actually asked Scotty how to do some things with my profile because his
Mm-hmm.
profile was so good. And I was like, how do you put the music in there? And how do you do that? And he was like, this is what you do. And then I saw the
Here's what you
part,
do, Wendy.
Scotch and cookies and all that.
That's what I
kind of-
told her. I said, send me all your pictures and I'll tell you the best ones to put up. And I go, oh, this is a good one. Oh, this is good. Oh, you can't put that one up, but it's a good one. So.
But when you've
I'd
been
like to
friends
find
for 20
a
years,
lot of the
you
content from there is gone.
I know.
I know. I still have a
But-
MySpace page, but it's like
I do
almost
too,
blank.
but I can't access. I posted tons of poetry up there, and I can't find any of it.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
curious, Professor, what kind of coffee cup you got? I can spot a good coffee cup from a mile away.
Oh, look at that. Prohibition. What's the small print say?
Herb. It's a dispensary up in Durango that has some of the best.
Prohibition herb. Oh, I see.
All of the best gummies and flour and wax and
So explain the cork bottom.
Oh, the nice thing about that is that, well,
Does it wrap
aside
around
from-
the cup?
yeah, it's all the way around the bottom, all the way around.
It's an anti-skid deal.
Yeah, it stays where you put it. It doesn't clank when you clank it, and it's a great mug. I picked up a bunch of them, and I got one of their shirts, and because I go there and I buy all their products, there's
is it-
nothing like good CBD and THC when you are trying to open your eyes and see.
Nothing beats
Field
the
guy, what's
17th
my
century
algorithm
for
doing?
tankards.
Oh, and
Oh,
DMT.
there you go. Here, let me blow that up. Hold that up again. What do you got there?
This is
Oh.
a local, yeah, just a
Little weed.
Yeah, a little cool lighter from a local place here. It's
Nice.
It's decriminalized here where I'm at.
Oh,
Check it out.
well, that's good. Oh, look at that.
That's pretty cool.
Get coming out here too.
Very nice.
Nice.
Look at that. Token up
Yeah.
on screen live.
Tobacco.
Oh, tobacco. Okay.
I hit the link because Wendy was talking about the subject was toxic love. Was it, Wendy?
It will be tonight, lovely. It's Toxic Love.
You know, oh, so it's not right now. You mean
No,
to say
no.
it's
That's
not-
her show tonight.
Oh,
You're
okay.
gonna have to watch
Her
the
show, Wicked Women.
You're gonna have to. There's 4 women on screen. They're not to like, and you need to come and watch it.
That's right. That's right.
Wow. Okay. What's it called?
It's called on YouTube. It's Wicked Women 888.
Okay.
And
Wicked
tonight
Women.
we'll be at all kinds of toxic love, friendship, relationship, all kinds.
All kinds of
I
toxic.
did-
Eastern, 4 o'clock.
Can love be toxic? Give us a hint. Can love be toxic?
Just be clear, I don't always choose the topics because I have 3 other women ladies that come up with stuff now. Go, we should look at this. So this was actually brought up by Kate, our Canadian lady, and she was like, I think we should look at this. So that's what we're doing. And it's all going to be about all kinds, relationship, friendship, all kinds.
I have to keep saying my lovely wife was supposed to be part of that show, and she just has not been able to ever do it. And
I think
scouting, all
gotta
kinds
make
of stuff.
time.
So
You've got to make time, and it's not just like
Yeah.
just going up doing a show. There's all the research because all these
Mhm.
ladies that come on, they all do their research before they come on, and they've got like paper and they come on and do the check. So it's not just, you can't, just can't wing it. And that's what I love about Robertson. We don't do that either. Well, I'm a qualified counsellor. Kay is a qualified counsellor. So yeah, we do, two of us for sure.
That's as close as you get to that. And you know me, Sarah, when Wendy and I do Robertson, we do a lot of this stuff on Tuesdays. Neither of us are psychologists, with degrees behind our names for psychology. But we've been around the block. Wendy's been a counselor. I've been a counselor in a different way.
I just do this so it's out there. I trained as a counsellor. I got all the diplomas and that lot. I've trained in probation, prison, rape, domestic violence, AIDS, alcohol, relationship one-to-one, and occult. So I have done my time. I'm 53 years of age, and so I do have a background. Otherwise, I wouldn't come here and sit and say
over 30.
Right. And right, Dave. And that was for Wendy, my right.
And I can tell you, the school for behavioral health is not easy. I'm doing it every day now, and some days it emotionally and physically wrecks you just from the reading and the case studies that you read.
There you go. There's Field Guy's input. I can counsel the ladies.
You can't counsel.
By the way, Field Guy is our 42-year-old virgin as part of the show. So his counseling is.
I would be.
I'm an expert in love. I've been engaged 5 times and married once. Divorced.
What was that, Sterling?
I would just be concerned with anyone who claims they can counsel you. They don't spell counsel correctly. It's just a word of warning. I'm just saying. Just saying.
Well, we definitely don't try and counsel. We actually started Wicked Women as a podcast for women by women, where we talk about all different subjects. They don't all have to be psychological. It's like relationship, friendship, health, and we're there to chat, to support, and be there.
It's like what you and I do with Robertson.
Absolutely.
We don't claim to say we're psychologists. We can heal you. We can counsel you. We can do that. We offer up good conversation. It's primarily what's radio. Radio's entertainment.
I was just like somebody took Cosmo and turned it into a podcast.
I was just kidding about the counseling ladies.
That
was up there. That's what that was about.
I get that. And so
last week was about revenge sex.
Revenge,
and who don't want to know about that? The guy should be sitting here taking notes.
Yeah, revenge sex.
You got these women basically telling you, this is how we feel.
Yep.
This is how our mind works. This is why we do the things we do. And they're like, oh, I don't want to watch that. I'm thinking, well, if you don't want to watch it, they're giving you the cheat code.
No, I want to watch it.
And you don't want to watch.
I want to watch.
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, okay.
I think what it is the fact that Val and I are similar age, and we come from different backgrounds, very different cultures. We wanted to have different cultures on, and we were going to have my lovely Australian friend on, which would have been amazing because she's so full of knowledge and great stuff. But the time is not fitting for Australia. She's at work when I'm going to bed, and you guys.
That makes it tough.
So
it's tough enough doing Robertson.
It is.
I mean, what is it? It's 10 o'clock here, which makes it 4 o'clock in the afternoon over where you are right now. So
that's why I lowered Wicked Women to 10 o'clock now, because it means I can leave at midnight and go to bed. But Carly's great because
Carly's great.
Very feisty, and she takes no prisoners. And if anyone's going to say something out of the 3 or 4 of us, it's going to be Carly. And Val will come out with it as
great.
well. As my
where's
job.
Carly this morning? Roger Rabbit, where's Carly?
Probably getting ready for tonight.
Yeah, prepping for tonight.
I take notes. I can't decipher them.
I just can't decipher them. I need a cipher key. Says Field Guy.
Yeah.
Carly is great.
We can work on your key for that.
So I've got a question for the psychologically trained, adept, and otherwise.
Access.
What are your thoughts on all of the chatter about with AI and how that is having at least a social psychological impact? It hasn't really hit from the standpoint of it being deployed and causing trouble, other than trouble for itself at this point, from my perspective. But there's a lot of talk out there about how this technology is going to replace a boatload of different current jobs, and one of them in particular that I've heard about of late is lawyers, right?
Oh yeah, I saw
Thank
that.
God.
The whole
Yeah,
idea of lawyers and
AI lawyer.
people who write. I mean, we're even seeing it in the arts as far as the work that you do, Scotty. But on the psychological side, Wendy, what are your thoughts on and the gals in the gang, or the gang of gals, think about this whole AI thing taking over and really being able to help people with their thinking?
I think it's really scary, because the one thing we have in our life, or we think we have in our life, is our own identity and our own being. And what I find really scary about all this AI stuff, first of all, it started years ago with, retinal scans and prints and everything, which can be, and then also it's like, now we can do the face. You can have a green screen behind you with Britney Spears. There's only have to look at Britney Spears' account recently, and everyone's talking about the fact that isn't Britney Spears. It's, if you slow it right down, it's a completely different person with obviously the filter. It's really endangering, and it takes your identity. And I think it's anyone could do anything with it. And I think we should stop it, not stop it as in, you can't stop it completely, but I think you should definitely be able to not have it in certain areas, because it's dangerous, very dangerous.
Somebody's
Keep
going
talking,
to come up with
everyone.
an
I'll be right
app
back.
that defilters.
Yeah. Elon Musk has told people be very, very careful. And I tell them, look at Skynet. Skynet started out as AI. First we're living in 1984, and now we're going to be living in the Terminator stuff. And I do a lot of tech stuff here, and they got the chat bot. What is it? Chat 2 point whatever it is now. That
Chat GPT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's coming out, and it passed the bar, like you said, it passed the bar, and next thing you know, you're going to start having, and the whole, I was trying to think what it is. They call them a domestic robot, which is going to be another thing. And you look at the androids that they're going to come out with. Then you're going to
That's
have
the dangerous one, because it will know all of your personal information.
Absolutely.
And but you think about it, they did movies in the late 80s, early 90s of the sex bots that the guys would get. You know what I'm saying? And they're basically decommissioned DARPA.
Gary 2000.
Yeah. Stuff. So
It's a really scary thing, though, because like growing up in the 70s and 80s, like, you watch these movies and you think, oh, this is like science fiction. This is. I remember, was it Roger Moore, one of his Bond films? They said they actually copied, was it the Shuttle or something, or they did something?
Yeah.
They copied one of the Bond films. It
Moonraker.
became a reality. So I think that we do look at these things and go, oh, that's inspiring. Let's make that happen. And that's, some of it's wonderful. But
Open the hatch, Hal. I don't want
Yeah.
to do that, Dave.
when it comes to AI, it's worrying.
Name that movie.
But you think about it, Star Trek, the tricorders, they held a tablet in their hand, and it had access to all the information. Oh, let me scan you. I
Yeah.
can go to Google Lens right now, and it tells me every kind of flower or whatever. Somebody has a flower on their porch, and I want to know what that is. Oh, I'd like to have that. Open up Google Lens, and Google Lens will tell me.
I don't think
of it.
the AI technology, I don't have a problem with it in theory, what it can do, the advantages. I think it has its advantages, but we're also looking at its disadvantages. When you're talking about an AI attorney to represent you, it's going to miss the passion of an attorney, the emotion of an attorney, but in moments, it can come up with every legal precedent and case and build a case for you. If you had an AI, I'm just thinking, what would be the benefits of that? You'd have things that, Sterling.
It's good and bad. Like with the attorney thing, just because that's a very unique example that I've just heard that's fascinating, I think it could be better, because sometimes when you enter a debate, the better arguer, the more person that compels your passion and feelings can win the debate. That doesn't mean they're right. They're just a better speaker.
Right.
And when it comes, and
True,
when it comes,
true.
and when it comes, and when it comes to law, maybe we should leave those things out of it so that a jury isn't swayed by feelings and emotions.
There you go.
It's
There you
just
go.
argument of law. But
Yeah,
I will
Just the facts.
Would
Well,
you
well-
rather have been operated on by a machine or a human being?
well, it
A
depends
machine
on
would be more precise.
Yeah.
it would
I
depend-
would think, even now, when I was 2 days ago,
Yeah,
I had him
robot
shoving
surgeon.
a coat hanger up through my groin to my heart, and they got a camera on it, and they're taking pictures and all of that. And how much of that is really? It's not AI, but
All over
it's
the internet now.
how
Those
much of that is technology. That
pictures are all over the internet now, Scotty.
what is?
I bet they put those pictures all over the internet now.
Oh
These-
yeah, those pictures are all over now.
It's out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, these are my
Well,
blood
again.
vessels.
It's
But you
it's
bring up an interesting point between a machine and a human being, because I tell you, like, let's say you go in to have your left leg worked on, okay?
Yeah.
They will come into your hospital room with big markers and write, "You, this is the leg, and
This
don't
is the
cut
leg."
this leg," and stuff on the opposite one, just
Yeah.
to make sure, because they make mistakes.
Yeah.
They make mistakes.
You
know, and that's the people,
because they cut
you know.
off the wrong leg.
I would pick
Yeah.
Well-
human every time. Human. I would pick human
Yeah.
because you know what? You can talk to a human. You can have interaction with them. They know. Well, if they put themselves in that space, you can have empathy or compassion.
Well-
or
Well, they
understanding
understand what pain is. The machine
The
will
minor
never understand
bits
what
of-
pain is.
The minor bits of AI that we already use. You think of intuitive texting on your phone. The
Yeah.
texting on my phone is about as intuitive as toenail fungus. It's just like, well, Mitch, maybe that's too intuitive for texting
I don't
on
know.
the phone.
I'm
But-
amazed by mine sometimes. It will pick phrases that are colloquial to me.
Yes,
It-
that's AI, where
It's
it reads
listening.
the way you speak, the way you
The
type.
VA cut
What
the
are they
wrong
saying now?
leg
You can
off.
write a book with AI in your
Yeah.
own voice, and it's like that's kind of weird, you know.
So I've got I'm deep into this particular topic along with blockchain and some of the emerging tech that's out there.
Oh,
And I'm writing an article right now called AI Thinker or Linker. And what I'm finding, the more that I hear the discourse of both the experts, the Sam Altmans, the Elon Musk, the Lex Friedman has had a couple of folks on recently that have gone deep into what AI is. And
I like Lex.
what I'm finding is that the majority of people do not have an understanding of what AI is.
Right.
And that therein lies a lot of where the fear part comes in. A lot of the examples and things that you guys mentioned are technology based. They are not AI, okay, or not AI in the sense that it's being presented. And the key thing about AI is that all AI is a set of programs written over a large
Right.
language model. That's it. There is nothing else that goes into AI other than a shitload of words and a bunch of links that are then queued to
A-
go be reviewed
AI
by a
can't do
prompt.
anything that it's not programmed to do.
And
but-
that's, well, to me, and the more I dove into this, I started thinking about, well, first of all, I've been on a rant for the last year about the term artificial intelligence and saying that it doesn't make any sense. That term is just another example
Right.
of lazy linguistics that are used by tech guys. And I know, because I'm a geezer geek, I've been around this shit for a long time. The problem with tech people is they don't do a real good job of using good linguistics in presenting whatever the topic is that they're coming up with. Another one is machine learning. That's another big one out there in the business world. Machines don't learn. They are not capable of learning. They're capable of pattern recognition and
Yes.
and putting together different types of predictive things based on, again, what has been programmed.
It's like
over
if
that.
something writes a book, if AI writes a book in my voice, what does it have to do to get to that point? It's got to upload everything that I've ever written. It's got to examine the way I talk. It listens to my radio. It gathers all the information and then creates on the basis of that input. It doesn't think.
And
So-
that's the whole point that I'm putting in this article is, calling it, is it a thinker or is it a linker? If you think about all of the applications, and I go back far enough to where, I was doing this stuff on punch cards back in the 70s. When you look at what computing is, what computational capacity is, it's nothing more than the ability to take a lot of information and process it quickly. That's it.
Yeah.
And if you really think about what they are, both AI and machine learning, they are expert systems.
Yes.
They are designed for specific tasks for a certain thing. And I'm also making the argument that, for example, the StreamYard we're on, I use Office 365, so I use Outlook and PowerPoint and Excel and Word and all of that. Those are all expert systems.
Yes.
Designed to handle a specific task with as much efficiency and accuracy as possible. So this whole idea, all AI is a linker. It is not a thinker. You cannot take the components that make our consciousness, our human consciousness, motivation, intent, empathy, creativity, reasoning, rational critical thinking. None of that can be transferred into a piece of software.
Think of that one right away.
It doesn't. It can't. So all these people that are going on about how AI is going to take us over and it's going to no.
Well, this is where Sarah Youssef just asked, is AI the new xenophobia?
Probably. I think there's a lot to be said about that. But the fear that, and this is another example of, I remember when the internet first came out, and the company I was in, everybody was going, what is this internet thing? Okay, well, maybe we should. In fact, we adopted it in our corporate makeover that I did for the company in order to do our IPO in 95. And it was only because it was a placeholder, because it was a part of the lexicon that was going on in the analyst, or I refer to them affectionately as the analysts community.
Nice.
And the people who were going to determine if the words and the message and what your direction you were putting together made any sense, and therefore was of value to invest in. So what we're seeing right now, in my opinion, is the first wave of confusion, of chaos, of people being underinformed about what it really is, and the people that are overinformed, hyping up all this stuff. Ben Gertzal is another example of this. He's the one who created Singularity.net. And he is a very character crazy kind of guy, but he does make a lot of sense in what he's doing. And he's promoting, when they came out and they said, Musk and all these guys signed this letter, said we need to stop AI for 6 months. He came out and said, oh, that's just a bunch of bullshit and hype, and we need to go off and do this. You've got voices to every extreme of what this topic is, parroting all kinds of stuff to the confused and uninformed masses who are sitting back going, holy shit, what the hell is this? Do I need to be worried about it? Do I need to use it? Is it something that I can employ to help me in what I do, creativity or business process wise or anything else? The bottom line is that, and it's all about who and programmed it and what they put in it.
Right.
That's it. It's not going to be able to cognitively come up with the capability to have some semblance of consciousness.
Right.
And that's another one of the things that people are talking about. Well,
there's another aspect to that, though, Prof, because one of the things is that when the internet first came around, we had people that looked at it and said, well, that's just a fad, or that's not going to have longevity.
I had somebody, by the way, on that point, Dave, I'm going to interrupt you for 1 second on that one point. I had somebody that stopped doing website work in 2008 because of the internet, the .com issue that went on, the financial issue. And they said, oh, internet's going to die. I said, the internet is not going to die.
Well, anyway. Look at Sears.
Yeah.
Sears was an international company that would ship products anywhere. Okay.
Yes.
They were completely set up to be Amazon. They just didn't have the digital platform.
Hey.
And they didn't take the internet seriously. And Amazon came out of nowhere and said, I'm going to be Sears of tomorrow, and started doing that. And boom, there's no more Sears.
Yeah.
Yeah, and those guys used to sell
1800s.
Back in the turn of the century.
You could buy
I'm going to interrupt the intellectual conversation for a second.
This way.
And,
Chicago is here.
This is my friend Heather Marie. She's the one who's got the rigging company that I worked with her last weekend setting up for the Chicago concert. And I'm going to drive to Chicago with her today to pick up a new car. And so that'll be fun. It'll be boring on the way back.
We're going to pick up a boat.
Oh, a boat?
Yeah, a boat truck.
Oh, a boat truck.
Yeah, a
All
giant vehicle.
So you can haul all your junk.
Yes.
Yeah, all right. So
Nice.
Heather Marie's been a friend of ours for 12, 15 years, something like that, here locally. So I did some work for her last weekend. Going to do more, I hope.
Yes.
And so this is today. So she just walked in with Rainey, and so I want to introduce you. There she is.
I'm going to assume you're actually wearing pants now then.
No, she's bare-legged.
I am completely.
No, I was talking about you.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I put on pants because I knew she was coming over.
I seriously had to look.
Yeah. See, I am wearing pants today. So anyway, so I wanted to introduce y'all because she's here. And we're back. There's Wendy over there. I do Robertson with Wendy. And there's Uncle Dave. I've known him for 35 years. And Sterling down in not Cartagena, but he's down in Colombia. And we've got Professor Bauer. And there's Michael's background.
Look,
So-
there's Michael.
There he is. There's Michael. So
I'm gonna put the coffee water on.
Heather has got to be one of the funnest people I know. I have never seen her angry yet.
Just wait. Just wait.
Just wait.
Just
wait.
give me a
Yeah.
week of being homeless in my car. and
Yeah,
live
she
right
just
there.
sold her house and she's got like 18 kids. Believe it or not, she got a bunch of kids, and she just sold her house, and they're like, okay, we don't know where we're going yet, but I'm gonna go buy a new car in Chicago. And so
Like you do.
the big van, and what was I gonna say? She's always happy, always bubbly. Last weekend, when I'm working with her, rolling bins, the for sound equipment, Professor Power, you'd know, and Dave, you'd know, and maybe all of you know, and moving all that stuff in. And we're in between. We got 7 hours to kill between setup and breakdown. And so we're sitting out in the van, we're smoking, we're talking, we're having fun. And I'm dragging a little bit. And she goes, oh, isn't it nice outside? And she runs ahead of me as we're walking to the van and does like 3 cartwheels and double flips in the air and lands and puts her and I'm like, I can do that.
Going to sprain an ankle doing that.
Yeah. I
Yeah, it's
could
contagious.
throw out a whole body doing that. So
It's contagious. A good
Yeah.
like positivity and that energy is contagious. So
yeah.
I like to be around
It
people.
definitely is.
Now, are you here to pick me up now?
No.
You said you had something to do.
No, I have to go bring I had a show last night in Somerset down the road.
Okay. Yeah.
So for private wedding.
Steve's place?
Yep. So
Okay.
I have to bring
Cool.
the roof down.
Because you told me you were on the phone upstairs. You said 1 o'clock, and so it's only 10:38. I thought, oh, did the
No,
schedule
Rowan wanted
change?
to see me.
Oh, Rowan wanted to see you.
So I
That's
told her I'd stop
nice.
for a minute since I'm not doing anything.
That's
I slept in my
nice.
car behind the stage last night.
Nice. So her next task is buying a house. So, she sold her house, and
I
it sold so fast that
Well, no, I just
Does she ask you to take her to Chinese?
Rowan. That's what she does to Uncle Dave all the time.
I will take her to Chinese.
Yeah, she'll take her.
I
to
do too.
Chinese.
I'll
With
take her
that,
to
that's
Dragon
blocking
Pearl in
you.
Hudson, Wisconsin.
Rowan's one of my
Yes.
favorites.
Rowan is all right.
No, I've been
So-
so busy with moving and packing. I think I've had 8 ER visits and hospital visits in 3 weeks, and health issues, trying to work, pack a house. And you think that friends, they say, oh, yeah, I'll help.
I'll help.
And then when it comes time, nobody steps up.
Nobody's there.
Everybody hangs up. And I had 3,600 square feet to clear out by myself. And I had hit rock bottom. And then now I'm finishing up bacterial pneumonia. So the week I was moving out, I had bacterial pneumonia.
Man.
So it was a lot of fun. And so I
Yeah.
just did not have time to also look for a house. So I'll
Yeah.
just find something.
She'll find something.
I
She's-
had catered a gig and threw the laundry rags behind the car seat, planning to take them out and throw them in the laundry. And then had a weekend where I was tied up and they sat out in the sun, and it was
blood-soaked rags from trimming the beef, and it was all this stuff. And got in the car and took a trip to Minneapolis and back, and I could smell this funky smell. Couldn't quite figure out where it was coming from, but breathed all this mold in the circulated car air for a 5-hour road trip, basically, up and back, and all the driving around I did. I'm so sick for the next 3 days because I had inhaled all those spores and everything.
Gross.
Oh my God.
We know medically that mold is more toxic than even lead in small amounts and causes neuroinflammation unseen on MRIs and CT scans in children and adults.
Yeah.
And we're starting to understand how toxic mold is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know nothing.
Well, mold is one of the big triggers to what we call encephalitis in the brain, otherwise known as a condition of PANS and PANDAS in children and adults. It causes neurological, psychological symptoms in children and adults.
Heather has had
mold.
so many medical issues that she is like studied like a physician.
I think that's what ill health.
Unbelievable.
You learn it because when I was 17, I caught glandular fever, which is mono, and I went on to get my myelitis, which is ME, or you guys call it, right? So when you have autoimmune disorders like Rainey as does as well, we research them because you want to get better. You look at every single angle to try and help yourself because, it went from like Rainey. I mean, obviously I have chronic fatigue and I had endometriosis and IBS and autoimmune Hashimoto's and underactive thyroid. It went on and on and on. So I think that you have to check yourself, because if you don't, you have to be a better person in some ways than the doctors, because you know your body better than they do.
Yeah. And Rainey's had to do her own study on her stuff because she said the doctor didn't even know this and this and that.
You got it.
So.
Well, I think what you run across is the big issue with physicians aren't educated in every condition, and nor do they want to always learn. So when a patient comes in, their medical charts are just plastered with a new condition called functional neurological disorder, otherwise known as AKA conversion, or hysteria was what we called it in the 60s and prior. And everyone now has hysteria.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Well, all you got to do is
I have hysteria.
All you have to do is listen to any pharma ad for any drug. And in fact, I was going to start this a couple of months ago. I'm going to take several of those ads and I'm going to put the conditions at the beginning of the ad. Because, they always hold that to the end. It may cause anal bleeding. It may cause suicide. It may cause,
speed it up.
Whatever. Yeah. And because if you think about those things, what they're doing is they're actually creating in your mind connections of particular kinds of reactions you may have or symptoms you may have, and they're combining them into some new, and I don't know, again, going back to the point, and I have to jump, I've got to get on another show, but one of these things about, this crap that I was going on about how these geeks cannot put together a marketing term that's worth shit for tech. It's the same thing with these pharma guys, only I don't know what they're smoking when they come up with the names for this shit.
Right.
Zaxapol and Punta Muna. And he's like,
they gave me a new drug in the hospital the other day. And it's like even the nurse was reading it. And now this is your new bottle of Mr. Fredolidal Langzinkino.
Scotty, I think we need to go back. You two-timing hack. Are you saying you're doing other radio with other people?
Yes, traitor.
Yes. Sorry.
Yeah, they want to talk about AI and free energy and UAPs. So I'm like, I can go on for days about that shit. I'm joining. So I got to jump. Thank you very much for having me.
See you, Doc.
Love you, man.
You guys have a great show.
Here, brother. Miss you. Well, get out of here. We all said goodbye.
Yeah,
I'm trying. I'm looking for the button.
I'll take you out.
Click the link.
Bye. Oh. Sorry about that, Sterling. I clicked his link and he already disappeared, and so it clicked yours.
There was Warren. But what I want to real quick is that on the AI subject, I totally agree with most of what's been mentioned here. And I would just further add that the one place where I don't think it can replace us is kind of like what you said, Scotty, is it's in art. it's in the art. So like,
Somebody's
whether
getting a
it's-
phone call.
Yeah, I'll be right back. It's my son calling.
whether it's the art form. So whether it's writing, my friend's a writer. I just read his book and it's amazing. And I've seen people who write with AI. It's ChatGPT specifically, and it's not the same. They just don't
I
connect.
I could never write with AI. Now
It's
I use
boring.
AI to do some art, but that's usually when I'm doing a commercial job. It's not like I'm
Well, and it's not to
expressing
do
my
the whole
passion
art.
in
It's
art.
to create elements.
I'll use it to create elements. I'll use it to create a logo design real quick or something, or a background for something that, I've only got $50 to pay you for this instead of the $750 you'd pay for this hour. And so, you okay?
Yeah, I'm going to visit Rowan.
All right. I'll see you in
Cheers.
a little bit.
And I have to run because I've got to get my wicked on. Because
All right.
I got to chat to a couple of the girls.
You got to get your wicked on.
Gotta get my wicked on. We do our research, and I got to chat with a couple of girls before the show, and I just
All right.
literally popped on to say hello, and I'm still here.
You just came in to say hello.
Yeah.
I'm
So,
glad you're here, Wendy.
I am too.
I will
and
do my best to catch the show today.
If
I'm
you
sorry I
don't
haven't
come
been able
on,
to get there
I'm gonna
earlier.
come over there and
I
spank
can
you.
never catch it live.
Oh, I
As
might
much
not be
as
able
I
to
talk
make it.
to
then.
Wendy, as much as we do our own show, I can never catch Wicked Women live.
Why is
Um,
that? Why is
so-
that?
I don't know.
It-
It's
4 o'clock
because I
your
have to
time,
come
little
down
guy.
here and sit on the radio or
9
sit on the
o'clock.
computer, and I got so many other things going that.
Do I need to
can't
send
do
you
it.
a little alert, Scotty? I'm going live.
Would you?
I'm going to
you?
send. I'll send
Send
you
me an
a
alert.
little alert to say
You-
it's
you know,
happening.
if you click on the notification that says notify me when she's alive, it will notify you.
This is my field guy impression.
YouTube's guilty of that. They don't
Field
notify.
Guide has been
I
an
share it out
awful-
on my community tab. That's how what I do.
He's amazing. Phil Guy
Sounded
is
just
amazing.
like him, Scotty.
Every week,
Thank
he's
you.
in there in the comments like this. He's brilliant. He's really good. And I'm not saying anything, Scotty, but I've come on your show. I actually have a show with you, and you've not done it to this one.
I
Yeah,
know.
why
I
not?
haven't had a chance to get out. Well,
Why?
you've only done 2 shows so far.
No.
Done like 5 before.
I meant 5. 2 plus
This is
3.
5.
So you've
Boy,
done
he is
5
not
I
shows.
knew
as
that.
old as is he? He is
We
not.
started off with
It's my
2.
time gets
and-
so
and then-
picked up during the weekends. It's like you're going to go down and watch a radio show.
Scotty, I'm
So-
not going to take that for an
I know,
excuse. I'm
I
going
know.
to message you
Don't
later.
worry, we're texting Scotty at 4 p.m.
I
Central.
love you, Wendy.
The
I
kind of
love you,
message
Wendy.
to do, Scotty. I'm naked. Put the YouTube channel on now. He'd be like that.
Well, see, I thought.
He'd be like.
Well, that's our
on.
private chats.
Spot on. And I know that's spot on.
He'd be like, all 4 women of us are sitting here with our tops off. He'd be like a shot. He would
That'd be a
be.
show.
Yeah.
My
And
mom
Sterling, what
wanted
was
to
that?
sleep in until
Well, I-
noon every day, but on Sunday mornings when I get up to do this show, she wants to get up at 9. It's like,
Yep.
fuck with that.
What were you saying, Sterling?
No, I was just saying, Wendy. I know that he says things like that. I believe it 100% because he said the same things to me, and I'm like, Scotty, like really. So I'm
Yeah.
Dreadful. Like,
And he was like, no. He was like,
His
no.
sense
He
of
said-
humor, Scotty.
he was like, no, it's Chat GPT. And I'm like, sure, Scotty. But no, what I would say is that if you ask Chat GPT to tell you a joke, it can't come up with an original joke.
That's,
And
right.
to me, that's the ultimate example. It can replace certain things, but not that. And if you ask
That's
it, it'll
right.
tell you, I cannot come up with an original joke. And that's just one example. And as long as we're using it for us and not the corporations, I'm not
Yep.
really afraid of it. But
Yeah.
the people who are going to profit is those corporations that cut us out. And
Yes.
but if we get cut out, but they're working for us, that's not a bad thing.
That's right. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, back to that point. I use AI when I need it to.
It's
There's
a
not a
tool.
budget, and I can crack something out in 2 minutes as opposed to 7 hours.
In days to come,
So-
you'll have an AI boyfriend or girlfriend, and you'll just press the button,
Oh,
and they'll be
yeah.
there in front of you, and they'll be like, "What can I do for you? Would you like me to?" It'll happen, right? And the guy will be probably similar, like, "I'm here."
I
would
want.
you-"
You know what I want? I want a holodeck.
Oh my god!
You ever watch Star Trek? I want a
You
holodeck.
never leave.
I'd never see this
We
light
find
of
his
day.
shriveled up corpse there after a month.
My shriveled up corpse.
It'd be like Scotty's
What
like,
was
hey,
the last program he was running? Oh, that one that lasted 3 years?
Scotty's one would be like, let me be dressed as Captain Kirk, and let me go into the holodeck of the Starship Enterprise, and let there be women, beautiful
Orion
women.
slave women.
He'd be in his element. He'd be like,
Yeoman, get over here.
Wendy, my mind goes to so many naughty places. I can't even say it for propriety's sake. So, but there you go. It's just what it's. Just give me that little word. Tell me what I am.
You're
I'm
very
what?
naughty.
Oh, there it
You're
is.
very naughty, and you've been
See
a
you, Sarah
very
Yusuf. Say that again. I'm sorry.
You've been a very bad boy.
I have indeed.
And I'm going to send you a text message or a message tonight that says we're all sitting here in bikinis. Come on and watch.
Oh, well,
We
I'll
actually
be
don't have
there.
the guys on till the end, just so you know. Like, you can come in and wait, but we actually don't have you on till the afterglow, because it really is the 4 women for an hour, and then it's the men come on after that if they want to.
There it is. There it is. Yeah. I'll try to be there tonight.
You know,
well, I'm going to Chicago and back this afternoon, so
Okay.
that's about a 9 to 10 hour turnaround. So
Well, you can listen to it on the way down.
there you go.
I love you, Uncle Dave. I love you.
Tell him no excuses.
The fact that he said that is so true. You can
Well,
listen.
see, on the way back, I won't have Heidi or Heather in the car. So down on the way down, we'll be talking and yapping the whole time. The way back,
Heidi will probably, or Heather will probably like the show, so put
She'll
it
probably
on.
love
and
the
you can
show.
Listen to it on your way down.
Yeah.
Well, I'll see you in my
On the way
bikini.
down, on the way back. Yeah.
Have a great afternoon, boys.
See you,
And
Wendy.
Well, behave yourself, and I will see you all
Seriously?
later.
Bye. I love you. All right, guys, I'm going to kind of wrap it up too. It's 8 minutes to 11. I'm going to cut this short because I got people upstairs now, and I got to go get ready to do some traveling and for the day, a long drive.
you guys.
Sterling, great seeing you, brother. Thanks for coming on.
Cheers.
All right, we'll talk soon. And Field Guy, good to see you. I'm going to dispatch you now, brother. Live long and prosper. And Michael, same for you. Live long and prosper, brother. I'll talk to you soon. And Uncle Dave,
Give the
same
little
to you,
cherubs
brother.
a hug for me and the wife.
I will.
Miss
Live
you all.
long and prosper. All right, everybody. We're out. We're going to get out of here. Thank you for being here this morning. And my day has shifted a little bit, but we're only cutting it short by less than 10 minutes this morning. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all your well wishes when I was in the hospital. And as it, of course, turned out, passed with flying colors. So I'm feeling great. And thank you for all your support, all your love, all your care. And we're out of here. So once again, live long and prosper.